That was kind of loud. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. We're here for another Ring of Honor TV review, episode number 105 to be exact. We have a trios six-man tag match featuring stars from CMLL in the opening contest. And we also have the same thing in the main event with several other matches and tidbits to talk about throughout. So let's go ahead and get this review started. Nothing really extra to note. I guess I should talk about Jericho retaining the Ring of Honor World Championship this past weekend, but there, I at least mentioned it. So let's get on and talk about this 105th episode of Ring of Honor on Honor Club. As our opening contest features Atlantis, Fuego, and Esfinge versus Euforia, Gran Guerrero, and Rocky Romero in a six-man tag team match. Atlantis and Guerrero start the match off with Guerrero teasing doing a dive to the outside, but instead taunting instead. Fuego tags in to hit an arm drag and taunt all of his opponents. Esfinge monkey flips all of his opponents, while Fuego gets hit with a pop-up kick. Romero tears at the mask of Atlantis, but Atlantis recovers with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. Then Fuego and Atlantis hit crossbodies to the outside, while Esfinge traps Romero into a pin that he cannot kick out of, meaning that the winning team is Atlantis, Fuego, and Esfinge. So our next contest is in the women's division. La Catalina versus Lady Frost. Both try quick pins to start the match off, which is a majority of the early portion of the match. Frost hits a cartwheel cannonball in the corner for a 2 count, and then lands a cartwheel Alabama slam for another 2 count, and follows it up with a corkscrew crossbody off of the top rope for a 2 count, while Catalina hits an electric chair slam and crossbody off of the top to win. So, thing one. Lady Frost dominated this match, kicked ass all of this match, just to lose at the end, which I feel is a majority of Lady Frost matches. And thing two, they announced before the match started that La Catalina has a Ring of Honor women's title match lined up, which kind of spoiled who was going to more than likely win this match. So I felt they should have waited and saved that for later. That way, it's kind of like you don't really know who's going to win, because majority of the time when they know more contenders in a match, they're more likely going to win the match. As later on in the episode, we do hear from the actual Ring of Honor Women's Champion, but we got a couple of things to get to before that happens. As we have 2 quick matches take place next, that it involves the Beast Mortos versus Adam Priest. No code of honor in this match, which pisses off the Beast Mortos. Priest is able to slow him down a little bit after targeting his knee, but the knee is not damaged enough for a Mortos torture rack, backbreaker, and pile driver to pick up a victory. When the Beast Mortos wins, we all win. As the next matchup is a tag team contest involving Shane Taylor Promotions, The Infantry versus Rosario Grillo and Jimmy Wild. Thing one. In the promotional picture for this match, it has Shane Taylor with them. And the face that it is making, I call it the face when somebody steps on your foot, like the way that his face looked. And I just wanted to make note of that. Thing two is that Dean and Grillo start the match off with Grillo shouldn't have tagged out when he did, because at that point the Infantry dominate, and he tries to tag back in, but Dean pulls him off of the apron, with the Infantry hitting a boot camp and double foot stomp to pick up the victory. So we have the next contest being Blake Christian versus Fuego del Sol. And Christian attacks before Fuego is even done with his entrance. Fuego changes this up with a moonsault off of the ring steps on the outside, and then is back and forth once it is back in the ring. Fuego hits a rope walk tornado DDT, while Christian hits a C4 off of the top rope and wins off of the last chancery, which he has some stupid vanilla choke zero. I believe is what they're trying to refer to this as. I was going to call it the Last Chancery because that's the better name for it. So we get that Athena promo that I mentioned, and that she congratulates Catalina on her victory earlier, but is pissed off at her because she is not impressed by her. She was not introduced by Catalina, and is tired of all the women that come into Ring of Honor thinking that they can do the same thing that she did, but that's not going to be the case because she is going to continue to be dominant. And that title match that I mentioned, well, guess what? Next week, it's Athena versus La Catalina for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. So our next matchup is Dark Panther versus Gravity. Thing one, and this, I will admit, has been bothering me all week. I don't know if I called Dark Panther Black Panther last week in my review, and I don't care to check back on it. Maybe I didn't. I think I referred to him for most of the match as Panther, but I did look back at my notes and did at some point write down Black Panther. So if I called him that during the course of the match, I apologize. And even when I was looking back at my notes, I'm like, how the hell are they allowed to call him Black Panther? Then I came to the realization, well, that's not his damn name, so that's how that's allowed to happen. Thing two is that Dark Panther has a Ring of Honor TV title match lined up, and the Ring of Honor TV champion Commander, along with Alex Abrahantes, is in the crowd watching this contest. There's no code of honor. Instead, we get a series of arm drags. Gravity, which it has been a long time since we've seen compete in Ring of Honor, hits a dive to the outside, while back of the ring, Panther hits a reverse 619. Panther comes close to hitting a low blow, but hits the leg area instead. Gravity hits a big German suplex for a 2 count. Panther applies an armbar that Gravity grabs the ropes for. He follows it up with a tope to the outside and a second one as well, while both men try to hit a top rope maneuver with both moving out of the way until Panther is able to hit a top rope drop kick to pick up the victory and gain momentum for that TV title match that I mentioned. As now we have that second 6-man tag team match in our main event of the night. Volador Jr., Soberano Jr., and Magnus versus Atlantis Jr., Templario, and Mascara Dorada. Thing one. We have a lot of these lined up. We had one take place last week. We had 2 tonight. And they've been taping a lot of these. Will all of them air? I don't know. But at least they've been promoting that, this 6-man tag match is being filmed. And it's like because it has an AEW/ROH like graphic lined up with it. So we have a lot of these lined up. Thing two, they said that this was Magnus's. This is one where I should have fact checked it, but I'm not. They said this was Magnus's first match in ROH, and I just feel that's a lie because obviously in TNA there's a wrestler named Magnus, and when he competed, I'm like, I knew it wasn't that Magnus, but like you get the point I'm making. I'm fairly certain he's competed before because I definitely remember the name and it being this person. Thing three, we're going to get into the actual contest as this is another matchup with no code of honor taking place. Templario and Magnus start the match off with Templario delivering some head scissors, and then he and his partners hit dives to the outside. Dorado tags in and hits several Hurricane Ranas in and out of the ring, but back of the ring gets trapped in his opponent's corner, and then the same thing happens when his partner, Atlantis Jr., comes into the matchup. This changes after a series of backbreakers. Templario hits a Frankensteiner on Volador, with Dorado hitting several dives to the outside, leaving Atlantis and Magnus left in the ring, with Atlantis winning the match for his side after hitting a frog splash, ending this 105th episode of Ring of Honor on Honor Club. Try to think of something clever and witty to say, because it is a bit hilarious that this match is still going on. This was also a quick episode of ROH, and the episodes have been a little bit quicker now that they've stopped doing the throwback match of the week. Like I said, and these trios matches kind of go by pretty fast, so there's that as well. And like I said, more are being filmed, and so we'll see which ones happen when they do. We already know a match for next week in that women's title match. We also know that next week it's AEW Revolution. I should have my predictions for that show on the channel sometime. If you want to see me talk about any pay-per-view predictions, I already filmed my Elimination Chamber pay-per-view predictions this week as well. So I don't think there's anything else really for me to say. If y'all want to know who the hell wins this matchup, because I know that he's not going to tap here because Matt's going to come over there and break. I like this game. I like talking while y'all can watch this, and I talk over ROH because it's an easy setup and whatnot. This is just the part of the videos where I start yapping now. That being said, the tag team match system in this game sucks. So there's that. If y'all really want to know who wins this matchup, I'll comment it down below. But you gotta ask for it as well. So I do appreciate y'all for watching this. If you stay tuned to this part, I appreciate it. I'll see you the next one. I'm out for now. Goodbye. Y'all don't even have to comment. That's hilarious. That awkward silence because that's perfect timing. It's an end to the Young Bucks win. Everybody's mad. LOL. Quick review as well.